tell you some easy homemade fertilizer recipes that you can use on your orchids as well as other plants. If you have seen my earlier videos, I have always said that I prefer organic fertilizers over any other inorganic ones as they are safe to use and they show equally good results. Of late, I have been trying various homemade fertilizers also. These are practically made from our day-to-day kitchen waste, so they're freely available and they are completely safe. There is no harm in trying. Basically, plants need macronutrients like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium in larger quantities, and micronutrients like boron, iron, manganese, and chlorine, etc. Generally, if we are using tap water, then the micronutrients are taken care of, but for the major or the macronutrients, we have to supplement from outside. Luckily, all our kitchen scraps are rich in such nutrients, and we just need to know how to prepare those properly. Without wasting more time, let's get started. First, the easiest one, milk. Milk is rich in nitrogen, potassium, and calcium. The nitrogen helps in promoting growth of foliage and potassium for the flowers, and calcium forms the basic structure of each and every cell of the plants. So, milk is not only nutritious for us but also for our plants. You can simply rinse the empty milk packet or the bottle with some water and use the diluted milky solution every 20 to 30 days on your orchids. Spray them over the foliage or over the roots as you wish. It can also be used to clean the leaves. Don't use full fat milk or spoiled milk. Skimmed low fat milk works the best. Next is crushed eggshells. Instead of throwing the eggshells after using the eggs, clean them, wipe them dry, and grind them to form a powder. This is so rich in calcium. You can just sprinkle it directly on the pots. So, with each watering, the nutrients will be released slowly, and the larger bits they actually help to keep small snails and other smaller creatures away from your orchids. It can also be used after soaking 1 to 2 teaspoons of the powder in hot water. Let it sit like this for about a few hours, and then that solution can be used for your orchids. This solution can be used every 1 to 2 months. Don't use it more frequently as more calcium may cause calcification of the roots. Third is one of the very popular, very nutritious, multi-purpose universal fertilizer, the banana peel fertilizer. Banana peel is rich in potassium, phosphorus, and magnesium, and when used regularly, it can give excellent results. Simply after eating a banana, put the peel in a glass, add water, cover lightly, and keep it in the sun for at least 3 days. Then strain the liquid, dilute it with double amount of water, and give your plants a good soak in the water. Or you can even spray it or pour it on your orchid pots as well. Next is another method for preparing a slow releasing fertilizer. Take some crispy sun dried or oven dried banana peels, then grind it into a coarse powder. This powder can be sprinkled on the pots as it is. It can release the nutrients slowly with each watering, or else take a teaspoon of the powder and it can be boiled in water, made into a tea, and this tea can be used after diluting with water. The dilution ratio is 1:4, 1 part of tea to 4 parts of water. Spray it on the leaves, roots, or pour it over the media. Do as you like. Never use direct banana peels on your pots as they can attract many insects, and once they start decomposing, they can use the nitrogen in the media and deprive the roots of the nutrients. Another easily available fertilizer is rice water. The water obtained after washing rice before cooking, as well as the water in which the rice is boiled, both are highly nutritious. They are rich in B complex vitamins, especially thiamine, which helps in plant growth. Using boiled rice water is easy. After straining the rice, the water can be diluted with 3 parts of water and sprayed on the orchid leaves and roots. The raw rice washed water, on the other hand, it can't be used as it is. It has to be collected in a bottle, lightly covered with a cap, and leave it in the sun for about a week. So once it ferments, Discard the top frothy portion, dilute the fermented liquid in water and spray it over the roots and the leaves. If direct washed rice water is used without fermenting at first, then the rice water ferments in the media, giving rise to various gases which can cause damage to the roots. And also during the fermentation process, the rice water will use up all the nitrogen in the media. Thus, it will deprive the roots of nitrogen. So, it's always advisable to ferment raw rice water first before using. These are the methods that can be used. These are safe and non-toxic, so no harm in trying. The only problem with these is that we can't know the exact composition and the quantity of nutrients in each of them. They don't cause any root burn or leaf burn as such, but you should always use them in diluted form to be on the safer side. And at intervals keep looking for over fertilization signs like white chalky deposits on the pods and leaf tip damage. Make sure to flush the pods with plain water every week to get rid of any excess fertilizers. So that's it for today, friends. Hope you like my video, and if you do, please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.